Enjoying a nice little fire here, just thinking, what am I gonna do this evening? Alright, got somebody who wants a knife, and I'm gonna try to draw out some designs. What I want to do. It's cold and windy, so I don't know how this is gonna work, but she wants a small knife. So I'm thinking, we'll kind of come down. Of course, I've got to be different. To come up, maybe. Maybe this be the handle. Of course, maybe not quite this big, but I'd like to have the handle, maybe the curve start right here, sharp. Yeah, a little bit. And maybe just a little flare to her right there. A little flare. Maybe not quite that thick. A little thinner. Yeah. Cancel that out. What I'm thinking would be cool is have the steel carry down to this handle part. Have the handle roll off. Have the steel come down here. Keep this 1/16 thick, not sharp. Obviously it'd move back to here at this point. Have the cut, and then have the handle maybe. Let me try to see if I could bring the wood up a little bit on this edge or something. Boom. Little sharp, little bitty thing. The hardest part is going to be making it small. I think that right there would be cool. A little bit of finger detail. Steel come around. I don't know what they call that, a kerf, something like that. Sharp. Boom. That's what I'm thinking. And looking out here and the stuff that I have to do it with, I think I'll use these two pieces of steel. This is a scrap piece. A pin. This is just a piece of rebar. They're a little short. I think what I'll do is weld them together, give me enough length to hold this in the foundry, and shape it out of this 3/4 inch pin. It's pretty good stuff. It's a form pin. Of course, it's it's not stainless steel, and it does have these little holes, but I'm not worried about the little holes. I closed them up pretty quick in the foundry. So there we go. That's the idea. Let's just get started on it. Okay, what I'm going to do to weld these two together, I'm going to take the grinder and put a little chamfer on this one, overlay them, and then weld the two pieces together. In the future, that's proven to be a little stronger for me to do it that way while I'm beating on the metal when it's hot and all that kind of stuff. Okay, got a little cut there, so I just put an edge on that one, clean the edge up, an edge on this one, turn them over against each other, and then I'll weld them together, and boom. Should hold strong enough for me to beat this in right here. Alright, there she is. I'm not the best welder, fact, I'm a novice. But I believe that's going to hold for what we need. Okay, it's a little cold out here, but I got the foundry lit up. We're going to take this piece of steel here that we welded together, try to make a small knife. I'll be working on this for a little bit, and then I'll take it into the light over there on the porch. Boom! And little by little, and I'll show you the progress of it as we go along. But currently, it's about 32 degrees right now, so it might be a little bit of a slow process. Alright, just an update. I got the dryer turned on low, just because I think forcing 32 degree air in there at a high rate may cool the foundry down a little bit more. So what I'm doing is just taking it out, working a little bit, sticking it back in. Got a pretty lean mixture going right now. And let's see if I can show you. Just slowly starting to work it flat, slowly, a little bit here and there until I get it roughed in, and then we'll go from there. Alright, just going to show you what I'm working with so far. See, slowly flattening it out. I'm not worried about these little holes. They will mash together and disappear. But slowly but surely we're getting there, just to work with something. I want to show you what I'm doing here. I'm just slowly working it out. But I'm going to start putting that edge and rounding that off. I think I got enough material. Got to keep flattening it out, but I'm going to start rolling that edge up just a little bit. Alright, I just about got it ready to where I think she's shaped enough to where I can do the rest of it on the grinder. Now I'm going to do something. I'm going to quench her a little early. I don't know if that's wise or not, but I am a novice. But I'm just going to quench her a little early while she's thick, and because this is mild steel, then hopefully she won't turn on me. Alright, just want to give you an update of what I got so far. Still got a little shape. Still got to straighten her out some, but I'm not worried about that. Little shape, starting to get the point, slowly but surely. Like I said, it needs to be a small knife, which is going to be hard for me, but really having to work with the propane setup I got out here since it's so cold. Alright, just about to quench her. Looking down, she looks pretty straight to me. I know y'all probably can't see that, but I'm going to lose a lot of this material, taking out the imperfections of the hammer. She's pretty straight though. She keeps that way. You can hear the propane. bit longer. Check for straightness. Did not move a bit. That's great. I left her a little bit thick. So you kind of see what I did. I just left her a little bit thick. I'll work the rest of this out with the belt. Shape her up to where I want her, put the edge I want her, the spine I want, the curve, everything. But she's straight. It's wonderful. I'll get back to you. Alright, here we go. Obviously I got a lot of steel to move, but great thing is she's pretty straight. I can work with that. This knife is going to turn out smaller than what it is right now for sure. It's supposed to be a little knife, but it's hard to make little knives. But we're going to do it. This will include the tang and everything though, so. Alright, I still got her on the rod. I'm just going to keep her that way until I get her close, and then I'll cut the tang in and everything like that. Basically, I've really got to start working this back edge. One of the holes on the pin just landed right on the edge, you can see, but I'm not worried about that. I'm going to shave a lot of this off, put an arch to her, trim that front down, work it, and then get ready to shape it for the tang to be cut. Alright, got a little fire going here. Warm up a little bit, and then we'll start working this knife. I got a 1-inch, a 30-inch little 80 grit right here, and we'll start taking her down and getting her to shape for sure. Alright, one thing that's obvious, I got a lot of steel to move, but I'm straightening up the spine, and I'm fixing to start working that front and get her down to where I want. I'm going to lose a lot of material taking out the imperfections on both sides from the hammer. So, keep on grinding. Sanding. This is where you can see how many imperfections you got to take out. Quite a bit. That's okay though. She's going to be beautiful when I'm done with her. Alright, as you can see, got some definite imperfections. I'm trying to be patient and do it with the sander though, as compared to the grinder. My last knife I took it out with the grinder. It was way quicker, but it had some imperfections in it that I couldn't get out with the final sand, and without the blade getting just too thin. So that's the reason I'm doing what I'm doing, trying to be patient. We'll take her out. Alright, just kind of want to show you where I'm at so far. This evening, got a little bit of the imperfections ground out. I'm going to keep working on it. And once I get the sides where they're supposed to be, then I'll start shaping it and putting an edge on it. But right now, she's starting out pretty straight on the back side. I'm going to keep working. Alright, still working on her. She's getting closer. Still got a little bit of imperfections there. To keep working on the grinder or the sander. So notice something right there. See that line? That line across from each other. So I'm hoping it will. I'm hoping it'll disappear somehow. If not, I may have to deal with it. But we're getting closer. Okay. Got her way closer. Still see that little line there, across there. So this knife has now become a fun project. So I am going to weld that spot. See how it turns out. Never actually done it before, but first time for everything. See if I can weld it just to close it up. Okay, lines are gone. A few character marks from the welding, but she's still straight. So it's time to move on to shaping. Maybe when I polish it and get those little pricklies out or left. We'll see. Alright, here's what we got marked out. I don't know if you can see it real good in that light. It's a little too shiny right now, but I marked out the layout of the knife on my flat side. This is kind of what we were going for. I think we're really close. Put a little arch in her, cut her out. Tang's gonna be nice. Let's get to shaping. Finally, shaping mode. Alright, there she is. Rough cut. Just cut her out. Now I gotta shape her up some more. Grinder got away from me right there. But start cleaning her up, working on an edge. Let's see if we can keep that tang right there, or a little tooth. Let's see if we can. I don't know if we can or not. So there we go. That's the rough, little bit cleaned up. Tomorrow we'll start making a handle. Alright, now it's time to figure out the handle. Just cut this off of a piece of pallet material. I'm going to try to just shape it to the design I had in the picture. See if I can get her to come around. She's a little rough. Alright, I got the rough shape of the handle in. I think I'm going to go ahead and mount the blade. I've got some epoxy warming up. And then because this blade's got a fang on it, I'm going to mount it first and then work the handle after that. Got the blade in there. My little rough block. It's supposed to be just a handheld knife, so let's continue shaping. Alright, just epoxied her in there. You can see. Let her sit overnight. And then we'll start working more. Alright, got my little block on there. It's epoxy set. So now I'm going to start shaping this. And see if we can't create some something that feels a little better and looks a little better. Got a little bit of shape going on. I kind of like that design. Kind of goes with the picture we drew in the beginning. Got a nice feel to it. Got some repair work to do right there. Didn't quite work like I thought it would, but once again, I am a novice. Just do this for fun. But that feels like it's coming around. It feels pretty good, pretty good. Well, let's keep shaping. Got her all buttered up. We'll let that sit. And then just lightly sand it off. Once it dries just a little bit, then we can start working on the blade and getting an edge on it, polish. And then decide what we're going to do with the handle. Whether we're going to etch it, clear it, burn it. Possibilities are undecided as of this point. Alright, I got the handle pretty much on its way. I'm going to start working on the blade just a little bit now. It's always more fun working on the blade, you know, get it to where it's clean, sharpen like you like it, polish it, all that stuff. Still haven't decided what I'm going to do with the handle, but leave that alone for now. Let's work on the blade. I left it a rough, little thick on the end, and I've got 80 grit on my belt sander right now. And I'm just going to slowly work it across like that, just at an angle. Just a little bit bevel to it, and what it'll do, 80 grit will take it down quicker. Just like that. Where I can finish it up with some fine grit. But I left it thick, you know, so I could work with the handle and everything like that. Sorry, I'm moving my hand and not realizing y'all ain't following me. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of just work this. A little bit of a bevel there. Little bit. There's that. Trying to keep the same bevel on each side. Pretty important, you know, just try to memorize how you're holding the knife and work it the same way. See, now you can see we're starting to get a little, I don't know if you see it or not, a little edge to her. That's good. Here's what I got to decide. If I want to carry that edge down to this, where it meets the handle, or leave a little bit flat, where when people are holding it, their finger don't have a chance to get cut. I think I'm going to leave it a little bit flat right there. Just flatten it out. Like that. I don't know if you can see it or not, but now we got a little flat, and we'll run our edge right after that. What I like to do, a little flat right there, that's good. If I can start to feel my skin stick to the knife, my thumb, then I know it's close to being ready to put an edge on it. I'm not cutting myself, I'm just feeling skin starting to stick to it, so I'll leave the 80 grit off. That's it. It's done its job. Got a little edge on it. And I'll swap to a finer grit now and polish it, put a real edge on it, and there you go. Alright. I hate saying alright. Now I've got some 400 grit on there. I know it's quite a bit of a jump, but I'm going to go ahead and get to polishing this knife. Just sides. That's what I like to do. Going to get it and then kind of just roll the spine just a little bit, not much, just to give it some detail. And then I'll hold the same angle and start putting a for real edge on this thing and some more shine to her. And I'll show you when I'm done. Alright, that's 400 grit. You can see it got a little nicer edge on her. She's starting to polish up. I like it. Just kind of rounded this spine just a little bit to where it's not like kind of edgy. Now my finger's starting to really stick to her. So let's move on to the next step. Alright, next step. She's got a pretty good little shine to her, little edge. Good. What I have on here now is 1000 grit. I know it's a big jump from 400 to 1000, but I don't have anything in between. So I'm going to work this with 1000 grit and put the final edge on it, and then we'll take it in, do a little test on her and see if she's as sharp as we want it to be. And then the knife side will be through, and we've got to deal with this handle. One more thing while I'm doing this on the 1000 grit, really getting a good shine to it. I like to, for some reason, I don't know if it's right or wrong, but I like to go on a 1000 grit, match the edge where it meets it, and slowly run across it. Yeah. I don't know if you can see it good, but really gets in there. Alright, we're close to being able to cut something now. She's shining now. A pretty good edge on her. Now we just got to do something with this handle.
No.
Alright, there it is. Decided I'm going to put an etch on it. Use my edge tool, put some design in there, and make it look a little cooler. And then that'll be done. Done. Well, that's it. Put a little bit of an etch to her. Probably work on the edge just a little bit more, but there you go. She's etched. Put a clear coat on and done. Hope you've enjoyed this video.